Buffalo Bills fans, we've got a lot to unpack today, especially when it comes to the AFC North and the wild ride that is the Cincinnati Bengals season. Last week was a perfect example of why you can never count this team out, and it all starts with Joe Burrow. After returning from injury, Burrow looked a little rusty early on, missing some passes he normally hits without thinking. But as the game went on, you could see him settling in. By the second half, the throws were surgical, precise, and the kind of passes that remind you exactly why he's considered among the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. The touchdown connection he made with Andre Yosibosh was just jaw-dropping, a throw that not many in the entire NFL could make, and it instantly gives the Bengals hope, even with their record through 12 games being less than stellar. What's remarkable about Burrow isn't just the arm talent, though that's undeniable. It's his mindset. When he got hurt early in the season, the projections had him out for roughly 3 months, which would have brought him back with only 3 games left. Instead, he returned ahead of schedule, showing the kind of determination and focus that separates him from the rest. He doesn't care about the standings or the what-ifs. Once the doctors cleared him, he was ready to go. The record didn't matter. Playing and leading this team mattered. And that leadership has ripple effects across the locker room. Young players see him in there and suddenly elevate their own performance, stepping up in ways that they hadn't earlier in the season. The Bengals' schedule and their division dynamics have also played into this surge of hope. The AFC North has been chaotic, with teams faltering in unexpected ways, leaving the door open for Cincinnati to make a run. Even with a 4-8 record with 5 games remaining, a couple of key wins could put them back in contention for the division title. Historically, this is not new for them. Under Zach Taylor, the team often starts slowly, whether due to injuries, roster adjustments, or soft training camps, but they tend to finish strong, pulling off improbable winning streaks. It's almost become a pattern. Slow starts, hot finishes, and it's partly why Burrow's return, even when the team wasn't at its peak, still matters so much. The Bengals' ability to peak late in the season has kept them in playoff conversations more than once. And that's a mentality that has defined this era of the franchise. Then there's Ja'Marr Chase, who continues to redefine what it means to be a wide receiver in the modern NFL. Chase isn't just fast or skilled. He's an absolute physical specimen. He combines strength, speed, and hands that are nearly impossible to defend against. Watching him after Burrow's return is like seeing a masterclass in wide receiver play. When he catches the ball, it's not just a reception. It's a launching pad. The yards after the catch aren't guaranteed, but with Chase, you know he's going to make something happen. He's a player who can change the outcome of a game on a single play, and his presence on the field forces defenses to account for him constantly, opening up opportunities for the rest of the offense. His ability to dominate even with multiple quarterbacks throwing to him this season speaks volumes about his adaptability and sheer talent. On the defensive side, the Bengals have seen a slow but steady transformation. The unit struggled mightily early in the season, giving up points in bunches and letting leads slip away in games that should have been wins. But there's a youthfulness here that's starting to pay off. Rookie linebackers have been thrown into the fire, learning on the fly, and gradually getting better with each game. Their defensive line, loaded with young talent acquired through high draft picks, is beginning to gel, making it harder for opponents to consistently move the ball. It's not perfect, and there are growing pains, but the trajectory is clear. This team is improving at just the right time. The Bengals' running game has also seen a resurgence. Chase Brown, the #1 running back, struggled earlier in the year due to an offensive line that was still finding its footing, but now he's topping 100 scrimmage yards in multiple games, contributing both on the ground and through the air. This balance between running and passing keeps defenses honest, preventing them from keying in on just one aspect of the offense. Combine that with Burrow's unparalleled ability to read defenses and process information at lightning speed, and you've got a quarterback-led offense that can dissect any team, any week. His preference for shotgun formations allows him to survey the entire field, process complex defensive schemes, and execute with precision. It's a style that makes him both a cerebral quarterback and a true field general. And it's part of why this offense has become so potent. The ripple effect of Burrow's presence cannot be overstated. Young players feed off his energy, professionalism, and unrelenting drive to improve. He's meticulous, obsessive even, about being the best, and that intensity sets the tone for everyone around him. From the way he prepares each week to the way he leads during games, Burrow elevates the entire team. Comparisons to legends like Tom Brady aren't far off when it comes to mindset and approach. It's not just about physical ability. It's about leadership, focus, and an uncompromising standard for excellence that pushes teammates to rise to the occasion. Looking at the broader AFC landscape, the window for the Bills, the Bengals, and other top young quarterbacks is wide open this year. Injuries have sidelined key players across the league, and teams that have long dominated are facing unexpected challenges. Kansas City, the perennial powerhouse, has seen some regression, opening opportunities for others to stake a claim. For Burrow and Cincinnati, staying healthy and continuing this momentum is key. The potential is enormous, and if they can string together wins in the final stretch, this team could be dangerous in the postseason. The combination of a quarterback at the top of his game, elite receiving talent, a developing defense, and a rejuvenated running game gives the Bengals a blueprint for success that they have rarely been able to execute consistently due to injuries and early season struggles. The Bills, of course, remain a formidable opponent, with one of the best pass defenses in the league and a roster built to challenge anyone. But the storylines in the AFC this year are unique. The balance of power is shifting week by week, and the Bengals' resurgence is a perfect example of how quickly fortunes can change when the right players are healthy and firing on all cylinders. Matchups like the upcoming clash with Buffalo will not only test Burrow and his teammates, but also offer a glimpse into the potential playoff scenarios that could emerge. With Burrow back in full form, the Bengals are not just a story of hope. They're a team that could disrupt the established order and make a legitimate push for the division title, potentially setting up thrilling rematches and high-stakes games as the season heads into its final stretch. As we continue breaking down the AFC and the Bengals season, it's impossible to ignore how much momentum Joe Burrow brings not just to the offense, but to the entire organization. When he steps onto the field, it changes the energy of the locker room. You can see in the young players, in the coaching staff, and in the way the team executes on game day. There's a confidence that radiates from him, a kind of calm assurance that they are in the hands of someone who not only knows the game inside and out, but is also willing to shoulder the responsibility for the team's success. It's this combination of talent and leadership that has allowed Cincinnati to recover from a rough start and start stringing together meaningful victories, despite what the early season record might suggest. Burrow's return also forces a defensive recalibration from opposing teams. With Ja'Marr Chase now fully in sync with him again, defensive coordinators have to rethink every coverage, every matchup, and every blitz package. Chase's combination of speed, strength, and route-running precision makes him almost impossible to neutralize, and even when defenses try to limit him, they often end up opening space for other weapons on the field. The chemistry these two developed at LSU is undeniable, and you can see it in the timing, anticipation, and trust on every snap. It's the kind of quarterback-wide receiver duo that can completely alter the course of a game, and that's a challenge every team in the AFC must now consider when preparing for the Bengals. Meanwhile, the running game has become a complementary threat that balances the attack in ways the Bengals struggled with early in the season. Chase Brown's emergence as a consistent threat both on the ground and through the air has created a multi-dimensional offense. Opponents can no longer simply load the box or drop 8 defenders into coverage and expect to contain Burrow and Chase. The versatility of Brown, combined with the improved defensive line play under the new coach, has allowed the Bengals to execute a more balanced game plan that can punish teams in multiple ways. This evolution is subtle but powerful, and it's part of why their late-season push feels so plausible, even with the hurdles they faced just weeks ago. Defensively, the Bengals' young roster is coming together just in time for the stretch run. Rookie linebackers who were once overmatched are starting to read plays more quickly, communicate more effectively, and make game-changing tackles and decisions. The defensive line, stocked with promising young talent, is beginning to understand how to generate pressure without relying solely on brute force. They're learning timing, leverage, and angles, and these improvements are compounded by the sheer athleticism of the group. It's a team that has endured growing pains, but there's clear evidence that the lessons learned early in the season are translating into better performance and resilience against strong opponents. When you combine Burrow's elite quarterback play, Chase's dominance at wide receiver, the development of the running game, and the defensive improvements, the Bengals are suddenly a team capable of competing at the highest level in the AFC. What makes this even more intriguing is the timing. They're entering the most critical part of the season with the kind of cohesion and confidence that can propel teams into the playoffs and potentially beyond. They've seen what it takes to reach the Super Bowl before, and while injuries have disrupted their rhythm in previous years, the lessons learned have shaped a more mature, mentally tough roster capable of handling adversity. The AFC landscape this season is wide open. Teams that once dominated are struggling, which means that younger franchises with emerging stars now have an opportunity to stake their claim. For the Bengals, it's about maintaining momentum, staying healthy, and executing consistently. Burrow's leadership ensures that the team remains focused on 1 week at a time, one play at a time, rather than getting ahead of themselves or being distracted by past results or future projections. This laser focus is part of what makes him not just a great quarterback, but a transformative figure for Cincinnati, a player who can elevate everyone around him simply by being himself and demanding excellence at every level. For Buffalo, preparing to face this resurgent Bengals team is no small task. The Bills have one of the most formidable pass defenses in the league, capable of disrupting even the most sophisticated offensive schemes. But the Bengals bring a unique combination of talent and timing that presents challenges different from the ones they've faced all season. Balancing pressure, coverage, and containment while accounting for Burrow's mobility, Chase's playmaking ability, and the dual-threat nature of Chase Brown will require precision and execution at a level the Bills have rarely been tested against. Matchups like these are more than just games. They're tests of coaching, preparation, and adaptability, and the outcome can shape playoff seeding and momentum. Looking at the season as a whole, the Bengals' trajectory is a reminder of just how unpredictable the NFL can be. Teams that struggle early can surge late. Young players can emerge in critical roles. An elite quarterback play can completely redefine expectations. Burrow's return is a microcosm of that reality. His mindset, precision, and preparation have injected a level of confidence into Cincinnati that was missing in the early months of the season. It's a team that has endured adversity, learned from mistakes, and is now positioned to challenge not just divisional rivals, but the entire conference. Every win they secure builds belief. Every strong performance reinforces that they can compete at the highest level, and every challenge they overcome strengthens the narrative that this team is one to watch as the season approaches its final, most important stretch. Before we dive back in, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest Buffalo Bills updates straight to your screen. And hey, don't hold back. Let us know your thoughts on today's news down in the comments. Whispers are swirling around Orchard Park as tensions reportedly simmer between Josh Allen and head coach Sean McDermott. Sources close to the team suggest that during a recent game, Allen, known for his fiery competitiveness and fearless decision-making, pushed for a fourth-down attempt in a critical moment. According to insiders, McDermott firmly overruled him, leading to a tense exchange that could be felt even through the headset. While Allen has long been celebrated for his gunslinger mentality, McDermott's cautious approach has occasionally clashed with the quarterback's instinct to take risks. Those inside the locker room say the disagreement was not just a simple tactical debate. It sparked a noticeable strain, leaving teammates uneasy and raising questions about how much autonomy the star QB truly holds on the field. Rumors suggest Allen's insistence on taking the shot reflects a growing frustration with conservative play calling, fueling speculation that his patience might be tested sooner rather than later. Observers note that these moments are often magnified under the spotlight in Buffalo, where expectations are high and scrutiny relentless. The push and pull between a quarterback with Allen's talent and a coach like McDermott, who has built a reputation for disciplined decision-making, creates a narrative that fans and analysts can't ignore. Even casual conversations among insiders hint that this headset tension might be a microcosm of a deeper philosophical divide over the team's identity and strategy moving forward. As the season unfolds, all eyes will be on whether this incident was an isolated flare-up or the beginning of a more persistent tug-of-war. Some believe Allen's competitive fire could drive him to increasingly challenge play calls, while others think McDermott will double down on his approach, emphasizing structure over instinct. Either way, the Buffalo Bills are now navigating not just the usual ups and downs of the NFL, but also a story off the field that could define their season's narrative. Fans are watching closely, eager to see if this tension sparks brilliance or breeds disruption, and every sideline glance and headset exchange is suddenly loaded with meaning. That's a wrap for now. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay on top of all things Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. We'd love to hear what you think in the comments. See you in the next update.